This is Nightline on the VOCM CFCB Radio Network.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to be entertained. All right!
And that is a little taste of what you're going to hear when you listen to Jim Fiddler's new release, RPM, coming your way starting tomorrow night. Jim, are you there? Oh, well, I don't have Jim. Line 1 or line 2? Oh, there you go. How you doing, Jim?
It's good. How are you?
Some confusion on the board there. That could have been a lot smoother.
Oh, well, you know, that's technology. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, so listen, long time coming. A lot of work went into this, obviously. I was saying to you earlier in a brief conversation we had that some books are collections of short stories. What you've written here is a novel.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's an album. You know, the music industry has declared the album dead. They've declared the death of the album, and that kind of gets under my skin a little bit because I've always been a lover of albums like, you know, The Wall, Dark Side of the Moon, Crime of the Century, Tommy, Thick as a Brick, you know, all that. You know, back in the day when we actually had speakers, when people actually listened to music on speakers, not earbuds, and we would put on an album and listen to it from beginning to end, and, you know, it wasn't just a bunch of separate little songs. So, I mean, the music industry says the album is dead. Well, I say, you know, take this, and just for folks to kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about, when I say album, I don't mean just the vinyl disc, the 33 1/3 long play album, the LP. I mean the stuff that you might find on one of those discs, the album itself, the songs. And just imagine if they told you at some point that, you know, folks these days don't have the attention span anymore, so we're not going to make any more movies. All we're going to put out from now on is trailers. Can you imagine that? Yeah,
it's interesting that they would think that. I happen to think that a lot of people are still very much interested in the cohesive, you know, through line, sort of full album, as you describe it. It's interesting that for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, if it's something to do with radio, but novels are obviously clearly far more popular than collections of short stories. People like full-length feature films more than a collection of vignettes. And yet, for some strange reason, CDs and albums have gone the way of individual songs as opposed to what you've produced.
They've gone the way of the attention span.
Yeah, there you go. But still, I think people have it in them to enjoy, exactly as you describe, picking up something longer and taking it from the start to the finish and getting something more than the sum of its parts.
Absolutely, and the main thing about this record is it's the funnest album, funnest record I've ever done in my life, and you know, it does have that, you know, you started at the beginning and you listen all the way through till the end, and you know, you have your glass of wine or your cognac or your couple of beers or whatever you do, you know, I don't know what people do, and you turn up the music and you just kick back and you listen to it, and it's like watching a movie, except instead of having all of those images suggested to you on the screen, we're implementing a little thing called the theater of the mind. And you know what? Your mind is a lot more powerful. Your imagination is a lot more powerful than any multi-million-dollar special effects that they can put on the screen, because even those come from human imagination.
Indeed. Now, I just did a bit of reading on your website, and I love this idea of you being more the conduit, you know, than the author in a sense. And I know what you're talking about. I've been, as many of us have, in the situation where you're sitting down, you're writing something, and all of a sudden you're almost standing back and saying, wow, where's this coming from, and where's it going? I can't wait to find out myself. It's as though it's coming from somewhere else.
Well, you know, anybody can understand that, who I guess is gifted, who has that gift of creativity. And I think we all have gifts, and many of us don't really get a chance to pursue them because, most people are busy getting pieces of paper and getting jobs and mortgages and car payments and gold watches eventually and so on. But I think everybody is born. I think babies aren't born as blank slates. I think we're all, God's children, as people say. And being that, it's the old to get biblical. It's let's create man in our own image and our own likeness. I don't think we're as dumb as maybe some people think we are.
All right, listen, let's get back to the album and talk about Mickey Finn. This is the character at the center of the story, as it were.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Mickey Finn and how you came up with him.
Well, I started out initially listening to these albums with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. Hey, Rod, if you're listening. And, the whole idea of listening to something like The Wall, for example, we're listening to The Wall and listening to these so-called concept albums. And I noticed, I guess as a musical person myself, I could see the building, the Lego blocks that they were snapping together to make these, songs kind of get louder and spots get lower, speed up, slow down, all those. And I said to my friend, I said, this is all very easily done kind of stuff, He said, oh, really? So the very next day I recorded the first track, and then the very next day after that I recorded the second song. And then I decided to go ahead and do the album. And I started out with the idea of kind of taking the Mickey out of the whole idea of people worship, stardom, and all that kind of stuff, and the rock and roll and the music business and all that stuff. And then I came to realize that I was actually dealing with something. The concept of the album and music that I really cut my teeth on when I was first, playing in bands and all of that kind of stuff. So, I kept that kind of tongue-in-cheek all the way through, but I guess part of the process to kind of deflect it off of me so that I didn't so much feel like I was, Jim Fiddler making another Jim Fiddler record was the idea of this fictitious character that was implied by the first song. And I called him Mickey Finn because I started out sort of taking the Mickey out of the whole thing, and so hence his first name. And the Mickey Finn is a drink, kind of goes back to the old Chicago days around the turn of the 20th century, where you get a guy into your speakeasy, into your bar, whatever, and you would slip something in his drink, and after he passes out, you would promptly relieve him of his wallet. So. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it's a joke. I tell people this album, it's one of those things. It's not heady and serious. It's something you can listen to and have a lot of fun with. But I tell people that the album itself is a serious joke.
Well, listen, any kind of joke is good, and the serious ones are the best in my mind.
Oh, well, that's the whole basis of comedy is tragedy, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's a great back and forth there, a great dichotomy. Jim, this is a big launch for you tomorrow night. I guess it's perfect timing because not only the time of year, but it frees you up then. Are you off to Gander for the M&L shenanigans this weekend as well?
No, I couldn't be very well putting out an album, taking the Mickey out of the music industry, and then take part of it in it, could I? Oh,
I'm sure you could. I'm sure that's a sentiment very close to many people's hearts who are in the music business.
Well, I've always been a bit of a renegade.
Indeed. Listen, this is terrific stuff. Now, listen, I got to ask you before we head on to another call. What's this reference to the final curtain call in your bio? Is that an early title for this one? Because it says the release for that was supposed to be the fall of this year.
Oh, okay. Well, some stuff wasn't updated. That was a kind of a working title way back when I first came up with the idea.
Okay, I didn't think you had a second project, concurrent with this one, but in any event, I sort of assumed that that's what it is. But this is RPM launching tomorrow night at the Masonic, we know it as, I guess.
That's right. Yes, Spirit of Newfoundland used to be the Masonic Temple, but I'm still working on a special handshake for tomorrow night.
Right. What time should people head down there?
Doors open up at 7:30. We have Gordon Quinton will be playing, Mike Hanrahan, Derek Harrington, and rumors have it that Jim Fiddler might show up and do a set as well.
Fantastic. Listen, I'm going to thank you because you just made my Christmas shopping a whole lot easier. I'll pick up a big stack of these and get them out to my friends and family. Good on you, and I want you to pick a track for us now that we can play at the end of the show. We're a talk show, so we're going to have to wait until the end, but you can decide which cut we put on air.
Okay, well, the whole idea of the record, this guy, this Mickey Finn character. By the way, folks, I'll give you the spoiler. He doesn't end up overdosing on anything or anything like that. He pursues his music career. He gets his fame and fortune, but he doesn't lose his soul in the process. He comes to realize that he himself is more important than his public image. That music is more important than the music industry and all that stuff. And that the journey is the thing, not the thing at the end of the line. So maybe that song, track 3, is called Not the Thing at the End of the Line. Maybe that'll be the one. Terrific.
Listen, congrats again. See you tomorrow night. All the best, and looking forward to hearing all of it. I've heard about half of it right now, and I'm looking forward to getting to the rest of it.
Thanks a million, Pete, and everybody have a great evening, and as many of you as possible. Love to see you tomorrow night.
Indeed. Have a great night.
Cheers.